Proposition 1, public safety, $15.7 million. What is the League of Women Voters? A 151-year-old nonpartisan, nonprofit organization. We advocate for issues, but not for candidates or politicians. What is this tax? This tax would start April 1st, 2022. What is on the ballot? 14 propositions have been proposed in 4 categories. Each must receive a majority of votes to be approved. Who is presenting? Dr. Mark Rinne from the Cheyenne City Council and Gunnar Malm from the Laramie County Commission. Welcome. I am Rosalind Shalisky, Secretary of the Cheyenne League of Women Voters. Assisting is our Zoom master, Dr. Karen Meister-Emmerich, who is Vice President of the Cheyenne League. And along with our members, we thank you for your interest in the election for the Laramie County 1% specific purpose sales and use tax, also known as the 6th penny tax. Mark, I think we have you up first to talk about Proposition 1, which is 3 fire stations in Cheyenne. They seem to be constructing one and relocating some others?
Yes, Roz, we're going to be, we're proposing 3 new fire stations at about, they'll all be identical footprint, so they'll all be about the same price at 5.2 million something a piece. We are wanting to replace the Delrange fire station and over by Sam's Walmart in that area. And then the fire station on the east side of town currently at Cleveland and Highway 30. And then we're going to build a new 3rd fire station, I think a little bit farther east. The 2 that we're rebuilding are going to be in different locations. We think we can, our fire chief believes that we can get, with changing locations, we can get a little better coverage area and a little better response time by moving them from where they're at. And some of the issues with the current stations, like the Delrange station, only allows for 1 apparatus. So only 1 fire truck can be there. Then you have the issues with all the traffic on Delrange. Getting to the north area of town is a little difficult from Delrange. Both that and the east station currently have issues with the roofs leak. There's they're just not in very good shape, and they either need to be rehabbed at probably more significant cost or rebuilt. And so we're looking at building, as I said, 3 new fire stations, relocating 2, and we think we'll have improved coverage as a result.
So where will the Delrange be relocated to, or do you know yet?
I don't know that they've ironed it out specifically. I think they're looking at maybe a little farther north, to the east and north, like on Converse, in one of those areas there, somewhat behind Sam's or Walmart.
And was one of these, was the Delrange one that had been on a ballot before?
No, I don't think we've really had fire state. In the past few ballots, the city's gone fairly heavy with recreation, and so we finally have come around to realizing that fire stations have moved up on priority, and so those are more our priorities. So I do not believe we've really asked for fire stations in the past.
What would be the consequences if we don't pass this?
If we do not approve this, we have our coverage will not be, and response times will not be as good as they could be. Our firefighters will be living in conditions that are somewhat cramped with leaking roofs. I mean, it's just, be sinking money into maintenance and repairs on those buildings. So like I said, the air doesn't work, the air conditioning, or some of it doesn't work, ventilation systems for. There's, as I alluded to, there are problems with the roofs. They're buildings that are at the end of their useful life. And so, you know, we either rebuild or we spend a lot of money remodeling and rehabbing.
Hey, Ross, could I just ask a quick question
Yes, I
here?
was just going to ask if you would.
So, you know, and this is entitled Public Safety. And so I guess the question is, how soon would these be in place to provide these upgraded and better positioned facilities? How long would it take approximately?
I think that probably something like this. The city has done this. I know the county has done this with projects in the past where we've actually gone out and bonded or taken out loans based on the proceeds of the tax, since the proceeds are guaranteed if they're passed. And that way, I think, and like with these, I think we would be wanting to move fairly quickly, get them built quickly. And the other, you know, we've all experienced how expensive construction materials have gotten in the past year. So again, the city did this with the Public Safety Center. I know the county's done it with some of their projects. I think Archer, Commissioner Malm could verify that. But, you know, we bonded it ahead of time, knowing and getting a better price rather than waiting till the end of the tax and doing it. So that's a long way of answering, Marguerite, on this one, probably as soon as we could.
Thank you.
And would you do them all at once, or do you
I think so.
Uh-huh.
I think so. There's some discussion about bidding them all at once with the assumption that maybe we would get an even better value by having one contractor building all three.
And I guess maybe if I could ask one more question, if the voters are thinking about, well, not this round, we'll wait, kind of relating back to what Ross said earlier, can any of these wait for the next sixth penny to roll around?
I think when we put this ballot together, and again, the commissioner can address that in his remarks, but we're looking at a five-year period on this tax, somewhere in that range. Yeah, they can wait 5 years, but they're going to deteriorate. Either we spend a lot of money on the upkeep, or they're going to deteriorate even more in 5 years. So I don't think it's a good value or good investment to be putting a lot of money into, you know, these buildings at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Well, thank you. I think we understand a little bit more about Proposition 1, which is 3 Cheyenne fire stations. When is the election? Tuesday, November 2nd. When is early voting? It's already started and it will continue through November 1st. You can ask for an absentee ballot, but it's going to take 7 or 10 days for it to arrive, and you're going to need another 7 or 10 days for it to get back to the county clerk. Or you can drop the absentee ballot into the convenient drop box on Cary Avenue, or deliver it actually to the county clerk's office. Is an ID required? It is now. Wyoming law requires an ID for voting in person or during early voting. And here are the different IDs that are allowed. Congressman or Councilman Rinne and Commissioner Malm, thank you on behalf of the Cheyenne League of Women Voters for providing valuable voter information. Finally, to our Laramie County voters, remember your voice, your vote is our voice, your voice, use it.